Gumoron, Namaste, and a warm welcome to the 9th edition of India-Sweden Innovation Day. The clock is ticking, and time is running short if we are to achieve our sustainability development goals by 2030 and the net zero goals. Can India, representing the global south, and Sweden, representing the global north, work together to solve issues affecting each other and all of humanity? We think they can, and we believe in the power of many to come together and work together to solve each other's issues through such initiatives like we're doing today, the India-Sweden Innovation Partnership, and of course, accelerating towards a green transition. We believe we can lift our eyes towards a higher purpose in building an inclusive, resilient, sustainable, prosperous, and livable for all in our one and only planet. Innovation, technology, trade, business, and empathy will become the key cornerstones in building this mission and towards this transition. Firstly, we would like to thank our partners, sponsors, without whom this day would not have been possible. I would like to say the Embassy of India in Sweden, Sweden-India Business Council, Confederation of Indian Industry, the Swedish Energy Agency, Saab, Volvo, Emirates, King, Nagaro, Art Park, and we have TCS, Aditya Birla, IVL, LTI, Bharat Forge, Infosys, Kalpataru, Svike, Smart City Sweden, the Swedish Chamber of Commerce, and Indian Street Food to also thank for their partnership. So we are a lot of partners who are working together towards this day. Thank you for joining us today, both here in the audience and online viewers in India, in Sweden, and around the world. I would like to warmly welcome Ambassador of India to Sweden, Mr. Tanmaya Lal, His Excellency Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honorable Minister for Science and Technology, Government of India, Her Excellency Ebba Busch, Honorable Minister for Energy, Business and Industry and Deputy Prime Minister, Ambassador of Sweden to India, Jan Thesleff, and Mr. Häkan Kingstedt, the Chairman of Sweden-India Business Council. We have a really exciting day that we have planned for you to connect the dots, co-create ideas and solutions, and covering topics from energy, transportation, Industry 4.0, AI, startups, life science, and circular economy. So, with no further ado, we would now like to warmly welcome Ambassador of India to Sweden, Tanmaya Lal, to give the welcome speech. Please give a big round of applause.
Thank you, Sanjoo. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 9th edition of India-Sweden Innovation Day. We are honored that Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Energy, Business and Industry of Sweden, Ms. Ebba Busch, and Honorable Minister for Science and Technology of India, Dr. Jitendra Singh, are joining this inaugural session. I would also like to thank Chairman Sweden-India Business Council, Mr. Häkan Kingstedt, and I would like to welcome my colleague, Ambassador Thesleff, who has presented credentials in Delhi only yesterday. I look forward to working with him and his team. Innovation is key not only for growth and sustainability, as was mentioned, but also to manage global challenges such as pandemics to climate change. Sweden, of course, is a leader on innovation and sustainability, and India too is now climbing rapidly the global innovation ratings. India is a reservoir of engineering, R&D, and entrepreneurial talent. The scale and speed of innovative technology solutions for sustainable development that are now coming out of India offer huge possibilities for collaboration. And it is in this context that this annual Innovation Day series brings together researchers, businesses, investors, and government agencies alike. And we thank all the participants for joining today's interaction. As we come out of COVID pandemic, it is useful to remember that this global fight was led by research and innovation and collaboration. In India too, researchers, businesses, and government collaborated very closely to quickly develop indigenous capacities in vaccines and affordable diagnostics. In India, pandemic constraints also accelerated the adoption of digital and innovative technology solutions by the government for public welfare and also by consumers and businesses. And this happened not only in life sciences and healthcare, but also in fintech and education field. This was facilitated by an ongoing digital transformation in India. As many of you would be knowing, a state-of-the-art digital financial infrastructure for public welfare, it's called the India Stack, is now in place. It is perhaps the world's only public digital platform where government entities have created digital public goods. And since this is an open and free platform, it enables innovations at scale and has a disruptive power. And this is rapidly transforming our economy. Just to give an idea, in September this year, 6.8 billion transactions were recorded on India's real-time digital payment system, UPI. And total value of such transactions last year was nearly $1 trillion. As many as 44 unicorns came out of India last year, showing strong investor confidence during a period of financial volatility and pandemic. The startup ecosystem is flourishing in India with more than 400 incubators in place and many more coming up. India at 75 has emerged as the 5th largest global economy with record levels of FDI and exports, and despite the serious headwinds that are being faced by the global economy. Production-linked incentives are catalyzing huge investment in manufacturing sectors such as semiconductors, solar panels, hydrogen, and medical devices. Indigenous 5G technology has been tested. High-speed indigenous Vande Bharat trains are being introduced. 26 green expressways are under construction. Cochin Airport runs on solar power. Delhi Metro runs on solar power, generated 1,000 kilometers to the south of Delhi. Indian Railways have a target of becoming carbon net zero by 2030. Massive wind parks are coming up. A national hydrogen mission is underway. Electric mobility is on the rise. A national program on artificial intelligence is ongoing. The space agency ISRO has just done a commercial launch of 36 satellites for the company OneWeb. And space startups are starting to create a buzz. Change is clearly underway in India. India-Sweden partnership also continues to flourish. Our prime ministers had excellent discussions in May this year in Copenhagen when they met for the second India-Nordic summit. In June this year, ahead of Stockholm Plus 50, our ministers co-chaired the leadership group on industry transition called the LEAD IT, a joint international initiative by our countries. Also in June, Mr. Baba Kalyani of Bharat Forge led the Indian participation at the joint Sweden summit. A few months back, another important co-funded joint call for proposals on circular economy was announced, and as many as 9 government agencies from India and Sweden are collaborating on this. 2 MOUs have recently been signed, covering new grounds, one on aviation and another one on financial regulation. Saab has recently announced a major manufacturing plant in India. Next year is an important landmark for both India and Sweden. 2023 also marks 75 years of India-Sweden diplomatic ties. In a month's time, India will assume G20 presidency, and in January, Sweden will assume EU presidency. This is important in the context of India-EU negotiations on trade and investment agreements. In April this year, the President of European Commission had announced the setting up of an India-EU Trade and Technology Council with energy and digital technology as key focus areas. And so far, there is only one other council like that with the US-EU Council. In a week's time, focus will be on COP27. And as announced by the Prime Minister Modi in Glasgow, India has substantially enhanced its climate action targets. These ambitious targets provide a clear pathway for continued investments and innovation in renewable energy, energy efficiency, and clean technologies. It is therefore no surprise that innovation for green transition is a major aspect of India-Sweden partnership. I would like to thank India Unlimited, the Sweden-India Business Council, SIBC, and the Confederation of Indian Industry for partnering in organizing this event. We are grateful that Honorable Deputy Prime Minister Ms. Ebba Busch and Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh could spare time to join this event, and their participation is highly encouraging. And we look forward to their insights and guidance on the theme for today's interaction, which is accelerating green transition. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador. We would now like to welcome His Excellency Dr. Jitendra Singh, who has sent us his speech from India. He is traveling just now, so we have just received this, and could you please show Dr. Singh's?
Excellency Ebba Busch, Deputy Prime Minister of Sweden and Minister for Business and Energy, Dr. Fredrik Husted, Head of Division for International Collaboration, Vinnova, Mr. Ulf Borbos, International Project Manager, SISP, Swedish Incubators and Science Parks, Dr. Anders Gothenberg, Executive Director, STINT, Dr. Jyoti Sharma, Scientist F, International Cooperation Division, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, Dr. Sapna Poti, Director, Strategic Alliances Division, Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. Ladies and gentlemen, Namaste and good morning to you all. I stand before you to greet you, and I am pleased to address the 9th edition of the India-Sweden Innovation Day. Ladies and gentlemen, the continuation of this event for the last 8 years itself reflects an effective partnership between both the countries as well as the government and the industry, which is developing in the area of technology ecosystem for the mutual benefit of both the countries. I am therefore proud to state that India has been progressing consistently well in recent years in the terms of the overall performance and outcomes in science and technology. India today, I am glad to share with you, stands third position globally in the terms of number of publications. India's growth rate of publication in science and innovation journals is nearly 14% against the global average of 4%, and India has already attained the 10th spot in the number of patents filed. Our diplomatic relations therefore have flourished on the back of our like-minded and our commitment, which is mutual, to fair trade and globalization. I am delighted that innovation cooperation is the fastest growing element in the world today and also in the bilateral relations between India and Sweden. You would recall that in April 2018, when Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, visited Sweden, India had agreed to deepen the collaboration through a joint declaration on innovation partnership for a sustainable future. This partnership aims to increase the impact of bilateral cooperation in innovation, science and technology. The partnership sets the framework for future cooperation to jointly tackle social challenges, including innovation-driven challenges on cross-sectoral issues with multi-stakeholders and multiple agencies' participation from both the countries. The partnership in a way covers several areas, including smart cities, transportation, e-mobility, energy, clean technology, new materials, space, circular economy, also bio-based economy, health and life sciences. The India-Sweden Innovation Partnership bridges institutions, it bridges R&D intensive industries, and also the creative entrepreneurs to address global challenges in line with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. Again, you would recall in April 2019, India and Sweden had announced the India-Sweden Collaborative Industrial Research and Development Program. And this joint program, co-funded by the Indian Department of Science and Technology and the Sweden's innovation agency Vinnova, brings together the world-class excellence of Sweden on one hand and India on the other hand to address challenges in the area of smart cities, clean technologies, digitalization and Internet of Things or IoT. The Swedish Energy Agency has also earmarked an additional 25 million over 4 years for research and innovation collaboration with India. And in 2020, the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, and the INAUGURATION, Government of Sweden, had announced grant funding to implement projects aimed at producing new solutions which, aided by artificial intelligence, have a significant, huge potential to improve public health, to improve nursing, and to improve care in India and Sweden. Recently, Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, met the Swedish Prime Minister in the Copenhagen during 2nd India-Nordic Summit in May this year. Prime Minister Modi, on the sidelines, remotely drove a car in Sweden with India's 5G technology at Ericsson's stall at the India Mobile Congress 2022 just a few days back. I am hopeful that the investment from Sweden will continue to grow, the most recent being the Saab. I also urge the companies to support startups from both sides and to undertake collaborative research and human resource exchange. I wish the two partners very best of deliberations towards building a shared future by harnessing the power of science, technology, and innovation for social good. Her Excellency Ebba Busch, I thank you once again for your participation. Look forward to working with you to further strengthen the bilateral partnership, including science and technology linkages, to promote the innovation ecosystem. I also extend my sincere thanks to Indian Embassy in Sweden, the Swedish Government Agency for Innovation Systems, INAUGURA, the Swedish Foundation for International Cooperation in Research and Higher Education, all the guest speakers, all the industry partners, and all the participants for making this event successful. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Jitendra Singh. Now we would like to welcome Her Excellency Ebba Busch, Honorable Minister for Energy, Business and Industry and Deputy Prime Minister.
Thank you so much. Honorable Minister Singh, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where in the world you are. Thank you for giving me the honor to inaugurate the 9th edition of the India-Sweden Innovation Day. India is a country on the move, where exciting things are happening. I want to especially thank Minister Singh for being a part of this inauguration ceremony. As Minister for Energy, Business and Industry in the Swedish government, I look forward to future discussions on how to deepen the collaboration between our countries. The relationship between India and Sweden is stronger than ever, and the innovation partnership has really become a cornerstone of our bilateral collaboration since it was signed in 2018. It is much more than a piece of paper. It is a vehicle for co-creation and co-development aiming to solve big challenges in areas such as green transition, clean energy, health, and transportation. It is an example of the unique commitment that both government and business have to our Sweden is one of the world's innovation leaders. India has the speed, the scale, and the talent pool of the world's largest democracy. India is also rapidly becoming an innovation powerhouse, climbing from rank 81 to rank 40 in the Global Innovation Index in just a few years. When we combine the strengths of Indian and Swedish innovation systems, we can create breakthrough solutions that benefit our economies, while also helping us reach the Sustainable Development Goals and the Paris Agreement. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that industry has a key role in developing new climate-neutral technologies and energy solutions. Swedish companies are already global leaders in sustainability, making fossil-free steel, new types of battery production, and innovative electric vehicles. Many of these companies are already present in India and working closely with Indian partners to drive the green transition. In 2019, India and Sweden jointly launched the Leadership Group for Industry Transition, LEAD IT. and global initiative to drive the low-carbon transition of energy-intensive industries. The group's rapid growth to include powerhouses like United States and Japan is a testament to its success. Sweden also joined the International Solar Alliance last year, bringing our expertise and experience in renewable energy and clean energy technologies. The successful collaboration between 5 Swedish and 4 Indian research funding agencies in the area of circular economy is another example of how our innovation partnership spans across the full value chain, from basic research to market implementation. Swedish companies have been making in India for many decades. Today, there are about 250 of them in India, employing over 200,000 people directly and 2.2 million indirectly. Swedish companies continue to invest and partnering with the Indian research and innovation ecosystem, and more Indian companies are doing business in Sweden. More than 50,000 people of Indian descent live in Sweden. They actively contribute to our society, many in the field of innovation. We should therefore explore how we can strengthen the human dimension of innovation, not least by encouraging mobility for talented innovators and researchers. I am happy to see such a variety of stakeholders participating in the program today, from industry, startups, academia, policymakers, and facilitators. I believe that a key success factor for innovation is creating synergies between different sectors and parts of society. Speaking of innovating startup companies, India has become a booming startup country with more than 100 unicorn companies in 2022. As you know, Sweden is also a leading startup country with unicorns such as Spotify and Klarna and world-class incubators and science parks. Therefore, I am happy to see that startup and incubator collaboration is an important element of our partnership, with the concrete matchmaking activities planned for the near future. Next year marks the 75 years of bilateral relations between our nations, a milestone I really look forward to celebrating. India is a highly prioritized and important partner for my government, and we will continue to invest in and develop this relationship in the years to come. I wish you the best of luck for today's event, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Her Excellency Ebba Busch. You'll be happy to note that we are covering all the topics that you've actually talked about today, including how Sweden can be better to attract top Indian talent, and that's a session we'll have this afternoon. I would now like to welcome our new ambassador of Sweden to India, Jan Thesleff, who has just been appointed as the ambassador yesterday. Mr. Thesleff, warm welcome.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a great honor to be here and address you today, as I've recently taken up my post in the important country of India. I want to personally acknowledge the contributions of the Honorable Minister for Science, Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Jitendra Singh, and of course of our new Deputy Prime Minister, Minister for Energy, Business and Industry, Ebba Busch. Your presence today is a commitment to innovation between India and Sweden. I would also like to congratulate my dear colleague, His Excellency Ambassador Tanmaya Lal, and the organizing committee. when looking at today's agenda, I see that this is a new edition that will be agenda setting when it comes to working with innovation between our countries. And more than anything, this event underscores the importance of innovation for our two countries. If I were not a physicist, I would most probably have been a musician. I often think in music. I daydream in music, and I see my life in the terms of music. Those were the words of Albert Einstein, who almost exactly 100 years ago was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics. Those words are valid today because both in science, in innovation, and in music and the arts, it's about creativity and tapping into the joint creativity of soon 1.6 billion Indians, more than 10 million Swedes. What we can do together, there is no limit to it. The Sweden-India Innovation Partnership has strengthened since it was launched in 2018. It has gone from smart grids to digital health, from circular economy to artificial intelligence. Together, we are co-creation for innovation. The joint funding that has gone into the science and innovation programs stands at over 160 million Swedish crowns. Behind those numbers are numerous meetings and visits, but maybe most of all, and we are witnessing that this morning, commitment from our politicians, commitment from our researchers, commitment from our innovators. And may I add also maybe a drop of passion when it comes to what we can achieve together. It's no coincidence that since the signing of our partnership, we've had more than 40 high-level delegations, ministerial and senior official, coming from India to Sweden. And we should not underestimate the importance of people to people, bridging the geographical divide of the communality we have in mind and in purpose. I firmly believe in the importance of the mobility of researchers and innovators. And therefore, we are working towards a jointly funded researcher exchange program that will be announced early in 2023. Last year, when we met in a digital format at the India-Sweden Innovation Day, a joint call to scale up our collaboration when it comes to circular economy was announced. This was indeed a unique opportunity for 9 funding agencies from both countries to put their forces together. And today, a year later, I'm happy to announce that a record number of applications have reached us, and those who are chosen will be announced before the end of the year. Looking forward, we have lived in a world that was marked by a worldwide pandemic. But looking forward, as we go into a more normal state of mind when it comes to being able to meet both physically but also in hybrid format, I'm also happy to announce that the India-Sweden Nobel Memorial Week will once again be held both in Delhi and in Mumbai. I'm also proud, being new on my post here in India, to expect within the coming 6 months more than 10 delegations covering diverse subjects as space, healthcare, telecom, and smart cities. This is a vigorous relationship. It has been mentioned earlier this morning that we celebrate in 2023 the 75th anniversary of our bilateral diplomatic relations. We look back, but we should also look forward to the coming 75 years. And I think it's safe to say that innovation, research, and collaboration will put their mark on those 75 years. Thank you so much for having me with you from New Delhi this morning, and I wish you deliberations, discussions, and building the networks that will make this collaboration on innovation even more solid, even more significant between India and Sweden. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Jan Thesleff. I would now like to welcome Mr. Häkan Kingstedt, Chairman of Sweden-India Business Council, to give us the...
Thank you very much,
Please do it.
Sanjoo. His Excellency Minister Jitendra Singh, Her Excellencies Minister Ebba Busch, Ambassador Tanmaya Lal, Ambassador Jan Thesleff, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, namaste and good morning to you all. Accelerating green transition, driving innovation partnership to next level is today more important than ever. In crisis, develop opportunities. New insights. We are all here today to tie one more knot in our friendship agenda between our two countries, India and Sweden. Sweden is leader in innovation in Europe. We are in a transition mode to lower carbon footprint. It's quite interesting to see today that our industry is developing all over Sweden. From the north, you may call it Arctic climate zone, but it's not really that. With H2 green steel technology, hydrogen storage, electrical battery system, space technology, among others. In the central Sweden, with our capital Stockholm, is the hub. In south and west, we have the green transition in transport system by electrical buses, cars, new traffic systems. Sweden is an exciting place to be in right now. A lot of things is happening even here. Talent and knowledge is a key enabler. Female talent in tech is one of the keys. What more could we do in business and in universities to attract, develop, and create conditions for women in tech? So we could take the advantage of these opportunities. Today's conference may give that answer. I'm really hoping for that. We in Business, Sweden-India Business Council plays an important role through our business networks. We connect SMEs, mid-caps, large flagship industries. We connect key persons. We connect private investors. We have a couple of initiatives going on right now. Recently, we had a delegation in India in tech coming back to Sweden right now. They visit the Mumbai, the Hyderabad, the Bangalore incubators, unicorns, AI, robotic park, T-Hub, ABB Innovation last week with Volvo support. We mix Indian companies with Swedish companies in our delegation to get the true integration at the same time with people, ideas. And by that, I would like to wish you all a very successful, good discussion, good learning, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kingstedt. Thank you, Ambassador. We would also like to thank Dr. Jitendra Singh, Minister Ebba Busch, Jan Thesleff, Ambassador of Sweden to India. And thank you so much for inaugurating this session.